Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for attending our How to Access Magazine Circulation by State and Newspaper Zip Data webinar session today. I just want to welcome you and just let you know that my colleague Sandy and I are doing this webinar from our homes, given the current situation. So if you hear any issues with our voices coming over the line or any issues with accessing the data via if you can see it, or if you have any hearing issues, anything like that, we are doing a recording of this, and we will be handing it out when we do a follow-up of our session today. So just wanted to let you know if you are missing it, we will be sending out a session. So just wanted to give you that heads up from the beginning. With the new circumstances as they are. So we are doing this from our houses. So probably many of you are joining us from there as well. So thank you so much for joining us today. Truly appreciate your time. And first I'd like to start out by suggesting that you use either Chrome or Firefox as your internet browser when using the Media Intelligence Center. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to log in to the Media Intelligence Center, and this is our auditedmedia.com page right here. So we go to the menu right here, and we're going to click Login, and we're going to go Media Intelligence Center. And I'm going on the returning user side here, and I'm going to sign in. So now we have the main page of our Media Intelligence Center. So today I'm going to start with magazines. So we're doing magazines and newspapers. So let's start out our session by looking at magazine data. So when you're logging in, you're going to choose the magazine or magazines that you're interested in. So there's a variety of different ways to access that type of data. You can use the search by bar here at the top, where you could search by a particular name. So let's say you're looking for Vogue, you could hit enter and you can get that particular magazine. Or you can use the filters on your left-hand side. So I'll click reset. And here, if you want to do magazines, we put a check mark to the left of magazines here, and we could look at magazines by circulation, parent company, etc., which is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use the parent company filter, and we're going to choose our list of titles. So for parent company, we're going to go down, and it's in alphabetical order. We're actually going to choose our Hearst and our Meredith titles. So I selected Hearst, and now I'm selecting Meredith. So then I'm going to scroll up here, and I'm going to click Apply and Close. And now we have our Hearst and our Meredith titles here. And you can see all of them as we scroll down here. You can see all of those titles listed. So what we want to do is select all of our titles, because we need to pull these titles into the periodical analyzer. And I get a lot of calls asking, where is the periodical analyzer? I'm on the front page and I don't see it. Well, what you have to do is you have to select at least one title to see this Analyze Data button. If you don't have a title selected, you won't see it. But we want to select all 52 of our titles. So we put a check mark to the left of Media Property, and there's that Analyze Data button. The Analyze Data button is the doorway to the periodical analyzer. So once we click Analyze Data, we're going to go to the Periodical Analyzer tab. Once we click on the Periodical Analyzer tab, we want to go to the Geographic Analysis report. So you can see here we have 20+ reports, all in blue. So each of these are have a title here for each section. We want to go down to the Geographic Analysis section. And underneath this section is the Geographic Analysis report. This is the report that we want, the circulation by state. So we click on the report name in blue to access this report. And when we click on the report name in blue, we get a window here. And in this window, we can pick and choose the categories that we want in our report. The ones that are grayed out the ones that have check marks here to the left, these are automatically included in your report. So you cannot deselect these. These will automatically be included. So you can pick and choose the categories you would like included. And of course, you always have the option of selecting all. Once you click that select all, now we have every possible category in our report. Then we want to click this submit button right here. So once we click submit, we now get the loading message, and now our report has loaded. So what we want to do is click the export button, and then a window is going to pop open. This is where you're going to choose which format you'd like to export. Now I'd say 99% of people want to export this into Excel, which is why they bring it into the periodical analyzer. So we're going to pick XLSX. That's the most recent version of Excel, and then we're going to click OK. So what this is doing is, for all of those titles that we brought in for our Hearst and Meredith titles, it's bringing in their circulation by state, and we're downloading that into Excel. So now we've got our circulation by state here, and here is our information, and there's our circulation by state. So we click Enable Editing, and here is our circulation by state. Now, I want to make sure that I'm broadening our category, our columns here. Sorry about that. It's categories, columns, because some of these columns are shrunk together. That's because we chose Select All. So I'm going to highlight every single column, and I'm going to increase the size. And then what that does is it makes it a little bit more legible to read. And then I'm going to bring these up, and now you can see it's much easier to read your spreadsheet. Now remember, this is that geo data for every single magazine that we brought in, and it's that geographic analysis data. So that is our data and our circulation by state for all of those publications we brought in to the periodical analyzer. So here I'm going to close out of here. Now, if you'd like to access circulation by state for historical publisher statement periods, what you want to do is scroll up to the top, and you see this Add Historical Reports button. You want to first click on the Add Historical Reports button, then choose the Geographic Analysis Report. So you won't really see anything happen when you click Add Historical Reports, but wait till you go down and you choose your Geographic Analysis Report. Now, this is where you're going to see your 6-month statement periods at the top. Here is where, let's say you wanted to get your circulation by state, and you want to do your December 19, 18, 17, 16, and 15 time periods. Then you wanted to select all and click Submit. Now you're getting your circulation by state for all of those magazines, and you're getting it for all those different time periods, 19, 18, 17, 16, and 15. And now you export this just like we did the other spreadsheet. Choose Excel, click OK, and it goes right into Excel. So it's that easy to get current and historical circulation by state right from the periodical analyzer. So that's our periodical analyzer for magazines. Now let's take a look at our newspapers. So what I want to do is click Reset. You'll use this button quite a bit when you're in the Media Intelligence Center, and I'm going to use that right here. Click that Reset button. It's the circle with the arrow at the end, and that just resets our session, so now I can start looking for something else. And now we're going to look at newspaper data. So what we're going to do is, before, again, you come in here and what are we looking for? You can either use the search by bar to type in a newspaper. If you're looking for the Akron Beacon Journal, you can type that in. If you want to put a couple titles in here, you want to do a comma, no space. Same with magazines. Let's say I'm looking at the Akron Beacon Journal. Comino space, Abilene Reporter News. I start typing it in, there's that one. So Comino space, next title, etc. You can access a number of titles that way. Or I click reset. We go into put a check mark to the left of news media. And again, I can use the filters on the left-hand side. Let's say I want to access newspapers by particular frequencies or circulations. I can do circulation here or newspaper frequency here. But again, I'm going to go ahead and use parent company since we did that as well in our magazine search. So I'm going to choose parent company, and I'm going to go down to, let's go media news group, and we'll pick those. There's 81 there. And then we're going to pick apply and close. And now we have our media news group list here, and we've got 81 publications listed here. So now I want to pull all of these into our analyzer tool, and the same thing holds true with newspapers. Remember, you have to select at least one title to get that Analyze Data button to pop up. Otherwise, you won't see it. We want to select all of our titles, so I'm going to put a check mark to the left of Media Property and click Analyze Data. That is the doorway to the newspaper analyzer this time, because we want to download data into Excel. In particular, we're looking at our zip data. So once we clicked Analyze Data, we want to go into now the newspaper analyzer. So once we click on Newspaper Analyzer, we are now in the Newspaper Analyzer tool. Under Select Data Source, quarterly data is automatically selected, and current reporting period is also automatically selected because it's the most recent data and the most recent quarter. So under Select Report, we're going to go down to the Distribution by Zip Code report. When you look at this report, it's fourth from the bottom, Distribution by Zip Code. You have three options to access this data. You can export it with predetermined column headers directly into Excel. You can view the report prior to exporting it into Excel. This loads it automatically. It, again, predetermined column headers. You didn't really get to choose them. You just get to see them. If you like what you see here, you can export it. Choose Excel and click OK and export that into Excel. Or you can click on the Modify option. This is the option I usually use to the right of the Distribution by Zip Code report, because what this does is it opens up a window and it allows me to see which categories are in my report. Now, the categories that are already checked and grayed out, these categories are automatically included in my report. They cannot be deselected. They're going to automatically be included. But it also gives me the opportunity to select more categories that I want included. So I can pick and choose to have further breakdowns of my data, or I can select all at the top here, and I can have complete breakdowns, or I can just leave it here. So for my zip code data, I've got total paid, qualified, verified, total CERC, and total projected CERC. So it happens to be all the info that I need, and I'm going to click on Submit. Now my data is loading. So once it loads up, I'm going to click on Export, choose my preferred format, and click OK. And that downloads directly into Excel. So to access it, it's click on that Analyze Data button, come into the Newspaper Analyzer, go to the Distribution by Zip Code report, and click on that Modify option. Choose your data elements and click on Submit. But just like we could do with our periodicals, we can also do with our newspapers, and that is look at historical data. So to add historical quarters to our zip code report, you want to go up here to Select Reporting Period. You want to click on Historical Reporting Period. Now you can choose from historical quarters, going back to Q4 2013. That is, if your selected title reported quarterly data at that time. So you can go here and select, let's say you wanted to do Q4 2019, Q4 2018, Q4 2017. Let's say you wanted a 3-year period of zip code data, and then you go down and you choose your report. We click modify, and we want to leave these categories once we look, so then we click on submit. And now we're not just picking the most recent period, we're picking our periods from 2019, 2018, and 2017. Now we can just export, choose our preferred format, and click OK, and all that data downloads right into Excel. So you can always choose your historical reporting periods, and it's a quick visual. All US, so here, all the time, you can always click on that. Remember, current reporting period is the default. You can always check historical reporting period. So for a quick visual look at zip code data, we recommend using the distribution map tab in a publication's brand view profile. So we're going to actually go back here, and what we're going to do is to access the distribution map tab, you want to click on a pub name in blue. So I'm going to click reset, and I'm just going to type in the name of a publication. So one of our publications, Kansas City Star, so I'm going to click in Kansas City Star, and I'm going to click on the name in blue. All U.S. newspapers that have zip code data have a distribution heat map. So I want to click on the distribution map. And again, this is a quick visual look at zip code data. And what I want to do is scroll down here. And as you can see right away, this is a heat map. So the distribution map tab displays a U.S. newspaper zip code distribution via the heat mapping tool. So this tool provides you with a quick visual of a publication's zip data and household percent penetration. So the darker areas have the more distribution within the zip code, as you can see. So this is 66062 zip code, and you can see the circulation is 2,113. So it's one of the darker of this area. So you can see it's going to have higher circulation. So you can also filter by frequency, state, circulation, and affiliated publications. So if you go up here and if you hit filter, you can see here you can filter by state. You could pick Kansas or Missouri. You can filter by affiliated publications. If they would have them, they would be listed here. You can filter by frequency. If you would choose to see the Wednesday paper instead of the Sunday, you could pick Wednesday. And now you're shown the Wednesday circulation when you hover over a particular zip code rather than the Sunday. So you can use these filters to pick anything you want. Filter here, you can go back to Sunday and click OK. This data can also be downloaded into Excel, and then you can click on Export, and you can download data directly into Excel. And we'll look at here. Here is our zip code and our count. So these are all of the zip codes and the corresponding data there. So you can download that data into Excel. And also, please note, with the distribution map, heat map, you can only view one title at a time. So when you're clicking on a title that you're picking from the front page, you click on Kansas City Star, and then you come in and see their distribution heat map. And so remember, it is a quick visual here, and you can hover over and see their zip code distribution. But you can only look at one title at a time. So you'll see here, you can, let's say you want to look at another title. So the Tennessean, click on that, and then you click on their name in blue, and then you go to the distribution map. So it's one title at a time, but it's always available here for those that have zip code distribution. And you'll see here you can hover right over that heat map and get their zip code data. And let me exit out of here. And that is how to access magazine circulation by state and newspaper zip data webinar. On behalf of my colleague Sandy and I, we just thank you so much for joining us today. As a reminder, don't forget to call me or email me using the for support info here at the top of the page. This micenter@auditedmedia.com email and this 877 number here, they both come to me. So should you ever be in the Media Intelligence Center and need help, go ahead and use that email or phone number and contact me, and I'm happy to help. And thank you so much for attending, and I hope that you have a great day.